डॉक्टर बाबा साहेब आंबेडकर ओपन यूनिवर्सिटी.
Hello everybody, I am Dr. Himanshu Patel and I am working as an assistant professor in School of Computer Science of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar Open University, Ahmedabad, and I am your instructor for this module. Today we will learn what is Android Studio, what are the system requirements for Android Studio, what are the features of Android Studio, and how to download and install Android Studio. You will also learn Android Studio IDE components and Android Virtual Device, that is AVD. After studying these modules, learner should be able to know about Android Studio. He or she can list system requirements for Android Studio. They can download and install Android Studio, and they can list features of Android Studio. They can also understand what is development app workflow, and they can define Android Virtual Device or AVD. They can use Android Studio IDE components. Now let us start this module with very first question, that is, what is Android Studio? For developing application for Android platform, you will require Integrated Development Environment or IDE. Android Studio is the official IDE for Android application development, and Android Studio provides everything you need to start developing apps for Android, including the Android Studio IDE and the Android Studio SDK tools. First, we discuss what the system requirements for Android Studio are and how to install and configure your Android Studio. So, system requirements for Android Studio. If we talk about operating system, you require 64-bit Microsoft Windows 8 or 10 operating system, x86 or 64-bit CPU architecture, second generation Intel Core or newer, or AMD CPU with support for Windows Hypervisor. You should have 8 GB RAM or more and 8 GB of available disk space. This space is minimum requirement for IDE and Android SDK and Android emulator. Your screen resolution must be minimum 1280 by 800 pixel resolution. Now let us start with features of Android Studio. As we mentioned earlier, Android Studio is Android's official IDE or Integrated Development Environment. It is purpose built for Android to accelerate your development and help you build the highest quality apps for every Android device. The first feature is code and iterate faster than ever. Android Studio is based on IntelliJ IDE. So, Android Studio provides the fastest possible turnaround on your coding and running workflow. It provides features, apply changes. Now, what is apply changes? Android Studio's apply changes feature lets you push code and resource changes to your running app without restarting your app. The second feature is Intelligent Code Editor. The code editor helps you write better code, work faster, and be more productive by offering advanced code completion, refactoring, and code analysis. As you type, Android Studio provides suggestions in a drop-down list, and by simply pressing tab, you can insert the code. Another feature is fast and feature-rich emulator. The Android emulator installs and starts your app faster than a real device and allows you to prototype and test your app on various Android device configurations, phones, tablets, Android Wear, and Android TV devices. You can also simulate a variety of hardware features such as GPS location, network latency, motion sensors, and multi-touch input. We can say you can code with confidence. At every step, Android Studio helps ensure that you are creating the best code possible. It also provides code templates and sample apps. Android Studio includes project and code templates that make it easy to add well-established patterns such as navigation drawer and view pager. You can start with code template or even right-click an API in the editor and select Find Sample Code to search for examples. Moreover, you can import fully functional apps from GitHub right from the Create Project screen. Another feature is Lintelligence, that is Lint Intelligence. Android Studio provides a robust static analysis frameworks and it includes over 365 different lint checks across the entirety of your app. Additionally, it provides several quick fixes that help you address issues in various categories such as performance, security, and correctness with a single click. Another feature is testing tools and frameworks. Android Studio provides extensive tools to help you test your Android apps with JUnit 4 and functional user interface test frameworks. With Espresso Test Recorder, you can generate user interface test code by recording your interaction with the app on a device or emulator. You can run your test on a device, an emulator, a continuous integration environment, or in a Firebase test lab. Another feature is you can configure build without any limits. Android Studio's project structure and Gradle based builds provide the flexibility you need to generate APKs for all device types. It is optimized for all Android devices. Android Studio provides a unified environment where you can build apps for Android phones, tablets, Android Wear, Android TV, and Android Auto. You can create rich and connected apps. Android Studio knows not all code is written in Java and not all code runs on the user's device. It has a C++ and NDK support. Android Studio fully supports editing C or C++ project files, so you can quickly build JNI components in your app. The IDE provides syntax highlighting and refactoring for C or C++ and an LLDB based debugger that allows you to simultaneously debug your Java and C or C++ code. The build tools can also execute your CMake and NDK build scripts without any modification and then add the shared object to your APK. It has also Firebase and cloud integration. The Firebase Assistant helps you connect your app to Firebase and services such as analytics, authentication, notification, and more with step-by-step procedure right inside Android Studio. Built-in tools for Google Cloud Platform also help you integrate your Android app with services such as Google Cloud, endpoints, and project modules specially designed for Google App Engine. Android Studio eliminates tiresome tasks. Android Studio provides GUI tools that simplify the less interesting parts of app development. First is Layout Editor. When working with XML layout files, Android Studio provides a drag and drop visual editor that makes it easier than ever to create a new layout. The layout editor was built in unison with the Constraint Layout API, so you can quickly build a layout that adapts to different screen sizes by dragging view into place and then adding layout constraint with just a few clicks. In short, it is very easy to design layouts in Android Studio. Another feature is APK Analyzer. You can use the APK Analyzer to easily inspect the content of your APK. It reveals the size of each component so you can identify ways to reduce the overall APK size. It also allows you to preview packaged assets, inspect the DEX file to troubleshoot multi-DEX issues, and compare the differences between two APKs. Another important feature provided by Android Studio is Vector Asset Studio. Android Studio make it easy to create a new image asset for every density size. With Vector Asset Studio, you can select from Google provided material design icon, or you can import an existing SVG, that is Scalable Vector Graphics, or PSD, that is Photoshop document file. Vector Asset Studio can also generate bitmap files for each screen density to support older version of Android that don't support the Android vector drawable format. Another feature is Translations Editor. The Translations Editor gives you a single view of all of your translated resources, making it easy to change or add translations and to find missing translations without opening each version of the string.xml file. It even provides a link to order translation services. Now, let us see how to install Android Studio. Setting up Android Studio takes just a few clicks. First, be sure you downloaded the latest version of Android Studio using URL shown on the screen. The first step is that if you downloaded an exe file which is recommended, just double click it to launch it. The second step is follow the setup wizard in Android Studio and install any SDK package that it recommends. If you have downloaded zip file, unpack the zip, copy the Android Studio folder into your program files folder, and then open the Android Studio bin folder and launch Studio 64.exe 64-bit machines or Studio.exe for 32-bit machines. It may check for update. As new tools and other API becomes available, Android Studio tells you with a pop-up, or you can check for updates by clicking Help menu and then clicking on Check for Update option. Now, you know how to install Android Studio. Now we understand developer workflow basics, or what step developer should follow in order to develop an app. The workflow to develop an app for Android is conceptually the same as other app platforms. However, to efficiently build a well-designed app for Android, you need some specialized tools. The process to build an Android app and include links to some Android Studio tools should use during each phase of development. The first is to set up your workspace. This is the phase you probably already finished. That is, we learn how to download and install Android Studio and create a project. The second step is to actually code or write your app. Now you can get to work. Android Studio includes a variety of tools and intelligence to help you work faster, write quality code, design a user interface, and create resources for different device types. The third step is to build and run. During this phase, you build your project into a debuggable APK package that you can install and run on the emulator or an Android powered device. You can also begin customizing your build. For example, you can create build variants that produce different types of APKs from the same project and shrink your code and resources to make your APK file smaller. The next step is debug, profile, and test. This is the iterative phase in which you continue writing your app but with a focus on eliminating bugs and optimizing app performance. Of course, creating tests will help you in those endeavors. The final step is to publish. When you are ready to release your app to users, there are just a few more things to consider, such as versioning your app and signing it with a key. Now, let us try to understand Android Studio IDE components. That means whenever you open an Android Studio, you will see different parts on the screen, which is known as the Android Studio IDE components. The first component is the toolbar. The toolbar lets you carry out a wide range of actions, including running your app and launching Android tools. The second part is the navigation bar, which helps you navigate through your project and open files for editing. It provides a more compact view of the structure visible in the project window. The third part is the editor window, where you can create and modify the code. Depending on the current file type, the editor can change. For example, when viewing a layout file, the editor displays the layout editor. The next part is the tool window bar. The tool window bar runs around the outside of the IDE window and contains the buttons that allow you to expand or collapse individual tool windows. The fifth tool is the tool window, which gives you access to specific tasks like project management, search, version control, and more. You can expand them and collapse them. The next component is the status bar. The status bar displays the status of your project and the IDE itself, as well as any warning or messages. You can organize the main window to give yourself more screen space by hiding or moving toolbar and tool window. You can also use keyboard shortcuts to access most IDE features. At any time, you can search across your source code, databases, actions, elements of the user interface, and so on by double pressing the Shift key or clicking the magnifying glass in the upper right hand corner of the Android Studio window. This can be very useful if, for example, you are trying to locate a particular IDE action that you have forgotten how to trigger. Now, we understand various components of Android Studio. Now, let us try to understand what is Android Virtual Devices or AVD is. An Android Virtual Device is an emulator configuration that lets you model an actual device by defining hardware and software options to be emulated by the Android emulator. Now, what AVD consists of? An AVD consists of a hardware profile. Hardware profile defines the hardware features of the virtual device. For example, you can define whether the device has a camera, whether it uses a physical QWERTY keyboard or dialing pad, or how much memory it has, and so on. It also includes a mapping to a system image. You can define what version of the Android platform will run on the virtual device, and you can choose a version of the standard Android platform or the system image packaged with an SDK add-on. Other options you can specify is the emulator skin you want to use with the AVD, which lets you control the screen dimensions, appearance, and so on. You can also specify the emulated SD card to use with the Android virtual device. You can define a dedicated storage area on your development machine, the device user data, that is installed application settings, and so on, and emulated SD card are also stored in this area. The easiest way to create an AVD is to use Graphical AVD Manager. You can also start the AVD Manager from the command line by calling the Android tool with the AVD option from the SDK folder. Inside that there is a tools folder. So here you can start AVD Manager also. You can also create AVDs on the command line by passing the Android tool options. You can create as many AVDs as you need based on the type of device you want to model. To thoroughly test your application, you should create an AVD for each general device configuration, for example, different screen sizes and platform versions with which your application is compatible, and you should test your application on each one. Now keep these points in mind when you are selecting a system image target for your AVD. The first thing you should consider is the API level of the target is important, because your application will not be able to run on a system image whose API level is less than that required by your application, as specified in the minimum SDK version attribute of the application's manifest file. The second thing you should consider is you should create at least one AVD that uses a target whose API level is greater than that required by your application, because it allows you to test the forward compatibility of your application. Forward compatibility testing ensures that when users who have downloaded your application receives a system update, your application will continue to function normally. If your application declares the use library elements in its manifest file, the application can only run on a system image in which that external library is present. If you want to run your application on an emulator, you create an AVD that includes the required library. Usually, you must create such an AVD using add-on components for that AVD's platform. Now we understand what is Android Virtual Device is. Now, if you want to use hardware device to test your application, you can also do that. So, how to use hardware device to test your application? When building a mobile application, it is important that you always test your application on a real device before releasing it to users. Now, how to do that? You can use any Android powered device as an environment for running, debugging and testing your applications. The tools included in the SDK make it easy to install and run your application on the device. Each time you compile, you can install your application on the device directly from Android Studio or from the command line with ADB. So, let us sum up. In this module, we have learned in details about Android Studio, system requirement for Android Studio, how to download and install Android Studio, steps for downloading and installing Android Studio. We have discussed in detail features of Android Studio, and we have understand application development workflow. And in last, we have understand what is Android Virtual Device is and how to test your application on a physical device or real device. I hope you enjoyed this session. Thank you and happy learning.
स्वाध्यायः